Welcome back, Scouts, for Activity 18, Ways to Communicate and Home Fix-It Projects. Hemphill, Camino Real, Blanco Vista Elementary, and all others are welcome.
For more fun activities at home, visit our YouTube channel, Sacred Springs Scout Reach. Please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. A Scout is obedient. A Scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the law of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobeying them. A Scout is obedient.
Show the Cub Scout sign. Tell what it means. Make the sign with your right hand. Hold your arm straight up. The two raised fingers stand for the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. The fingers look like the sharp ears of the wolf, ready to listen to Okela. Remember that Okela means good leader to a Cub Scout. Your mother or father or guardian is Okela. So is your Cub Master or your den leader. At school, your teacher is Okela.
Say the Cub Scout motto. Tell what it means. The Cub Scout motto is do your best. A motto is a guiding principle and a rule for living. Do your best means trying your hardest, not just a little bit. Do your best all the time. Do your best in school and at home. Do your best when you play a game and help your team. Do your best as you work on your rank adventures.
Requirement 1. Show how you can communicate in at least 2 different ways. How can you make someone who does not speak your language understand you? Can you act out a story without speaking? Can you draw a picture? There are 4 different ways to communicate. First, verbal communication is when you use your voice to communicate, like when you talk and sing. Second, nonverbal communication uses facial expressions, body language, and motions to communicate without words. Third, written communication is just that. People write in letters, emails, books, magazines, newspapers, and material on the internet. Fourth, visual communication includes graphs, charts, maps, photographs, and art to tell stories. How many of these ways do you use to communicate? People who are deaf or hard of hearing cannot hear what others say. Many speak using another type of language called American Sign Language, or ASL. You can learn the Cub Scout motto in American Sign Language, which is below. Plains American Indian Sign Language is a type of sign language created long ago by American Indians. It uses hand gestures to communicate whole words. It is easy to learn and a fun way to communicate with your den or family while hiking or watching wildlife. You can even learn the sign for wolf, bear, dog, and snake. A Scout is helpful. If someone is having difficulty communicating, be helpful by listening carefully and patiently. Remember, not being understood can be frustrating.
Cubs Who Care, Snapshot of Adventure. In this adventure, you have the opportunity to learn how people with disabilities are able to overcome their challenges and do things others might not believe are possible. This adventure will help you and your fellow Wolf Scouts understand just how many things people with disabilities are able to do. You will discover some challenges people with disabilities face, and you will have the chance to try facing similar challenges yourself. You can also learn about one amazing person who didn't let a disability stand in the way of a dream. Requirement 1. With the members of your den or family. Visit with a person who has a physical disability. Most of us never think about how we do certain daily activities, such as walking down the street or watching TV. But many disabled people find new ways to do things in their daily lives and perform the same tasks as others. They just use different tools or steps. People with physical disabilities are just like you, except they have an illness or an injury that affects their body's ability to function in some way. When you meet with a person who has a physical disability, be respectful and polite. If the person is a wheelchair user, try to sit down near them so you can speak to them at eye level. Find out what the person enjoys doing. Ask the person what is difficult for them to do because of their disability. Are there things that you could do that would be helpful to this person? Are there things that you should not do because they would not be helpful? Always ask people if they need help first, because they may not need as much help as you think.
Requirement 2B. Learn about a sport that has been adapted so that people in wheelchairs or with some other physical disability can play, and tell your den or family about it. I don't need easy, I just need possible, said Bethany Hamilton. Bethany is a professional surfer who reached her dream of surfing professionally even after losing one arm. People with disabilities who play sports see what's possible and find ways to do what others think they can't. Did you know that basketball, football, hockey, rugby, soccer, and many other sports have been adapted so people in wheelchairs can play? Archery, hand cycling, powerlifting, shooting, swimming, table tennis, and track and field events are just some of the many other sports that people with physical disabilities compete in. Athletes with disabilities have the same desire that able-bodied athletes do. They want to do their best and compete with others. They want to show their independence and will to succeed. Jim Abbott is a former Major League Baseball pitcher who was born without a right hand. He said that people should focus on what an athlete can do instead of on a disability. Learn about one sport that has been adapted for people with disabilities. Do you have other ideas for ways that you could change a sport? Share with your den or family what you learned. Our den met with a 16-year-old girl named Marcy who lost the use of her legs in a car accident. She had been very active in gymnastics before the accident. Now she plays wheelchair basketball and loves it. She said playing sports again really helped her get stronger and feel better after the accident.
Requirement 2C. Learn about invisible disabilities. Take part in an activity that helps develop an understanding of invisible disabilities. Invisible disabilities, such as autism or ADHD, can include those that cause people to think or feel things differently than those without the disability. Many children with invisible disabilities are successful in school and activities with some adaptations or changes to better fit how they learn. People with disabilities find ways to overcome challenges every day. They also must deal with people who do not understand the difficulties they have and say things that are thoughtless. A scout is kind. Remember to treat all people as you would like to be treated. If you see someone with a disability who is having trouble picking up an item or opening a door, ask if you can help.
Requirement 2E. Paint a picture two different ways. Paint it once the way you usually would paint it, and then again by using a blindfold. Discuss with your den the ways the process was different. Requirement 2F. Demonstrate a simple sentence or at least 4 points of the Scout Law using American Sign Language. How do you use your sense of hearing every day? It is probably an important part of the way you communicate with others. If you couldn't hear someone talking to you, how would you know what the person was saying? Do you think it would be hard to talk if you couldn't hear the sounds you were making? How would you pronounce a word if you'd never heard it before? Many people who are deaf or hard of hearing use American Sign Language, ASL, to communicate. ASL is a visual language, a language you can see, that uses gestures along with facial expressions and body language. Instead of spoken words, it takes practice to learn ASL, but you can start with just a few signs. Loyal, friendly, cheerful, clean.
Requirement 2G. Learn about someone famous who has had a disability and share that person's story with your den. Many people who aren't famous live with and work to overcome their disabilities every day of their lives. Some have made incredible contributions to society as actors, athletes, world leaders, and in many other professions and fields. Here are some people you might want to learn about. Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb, the motion picture, audio recording, and more, experienced a hearing loss. Gene Driscoll won the Boston Marathon wheelchair division 8 times and won 12 medals in the Paralympic Games. She was born with spina bifida. Franklin Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, was paralyzed from the waist down by polio. He was active as a Scout leader and received the Silver Buffalo Award. Stephen Hawking, a famous scientist and author, was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS, when he was only 21 years old. Helen Keller, famous author and lecturer, was deaf and blind. Eric Weinmeier didn't let the loss of his vision keep him from mountain climbing. In fact, he climbed Mount Everest. Share the story of a person you learned about with your den or family. How did this person's story inspire you?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Fix It. Snapshot of Adventure. As a Weeblo Scout, you are old enough to help out around the house. Besides doing everyday tasks like picking up after yourself, you can help your family in many other ways. In the Fix It adventure, you will learn how things around your house work and how you can make them better. Then the next time your lights go out, your sink clogs, or your bike tire goes flat, you'll be able to say, "I can fix it." Requirement 1. Put a Fix-It toolbox together. Describe what each item in your toolbox can be used for. Show how to use 3 of the tools safely. Fixing things can be fun. What's not so much fun is having to search for the tools you need. If you keep your basic tools together, you can take care of many handyman jobs quickly and easily. A basic handyman toolbox might include the following: small and medium slotted screwdrivers, small and medium Phillips screwdrivers, a hammer. A 12 or 16-ounce hammer will handle most jobs. Scissors, needle nose pliers, a roll of duct tape, a measuring tape, an assortment of small nails and screws, a flashlight, paper and pencil. Choose a box or bag that will hold all your tools. Leave a little space for tools you may want to add later. A Scout is helpful. Learning how to safely help your family with repairs is a great way to pitch in at home.
Requirement 2. Be ready with the help of an adult in your family. Do the following. Requirement 2A. Locate the electrical panel in your home. Determine if the electrical panel has fuses or breakers. All the electricity your home uses comes in on a single line. If you look outside, you may be able to see where this line enters your home, near the electric meter. Once inside, the electricity goes to a nearby electrical panel, where it is divided into separate circuits. There might be circuits for the washing machine, the refrigerator, the air conditioner, the electricity for each room, and so forth. To prevent a power overload, which could cause a fire, each circuit is equipped with either a fuse or a circuit breaker. If too much power goes through the circuit, the fuse burns out, or the breaker trips, switches off. Before working on a circuit's wiring or any electrical task, an adult should always shut off the power by removing the fuse or shutting off the breaker. Scouts should not work with electricity without direct adult supervision. Requirement 2B. Determine what sort of fuel is used to heat your home. Your home uses one or more energy sources to generate heat. Common sources include electricity, natural gas, propane, and fuel oil. Others include wood and geothermal energy. Ask your parent what power source or sources your home uses and find out where heating appliances like the furnace are located. Illustrations are of a wood stove, a radiator, a heat pump, and a furnace.
Requirement 2C. Learn what you would do to shut off the water for a sink, a toilet, a washing machine, or a water heater. If there is a main shut-off valve for your home, show where it is located. When a sink, toilet, or washing machine overflows or a pipe breaks, it is important to shut off the water as quickly as possible. There should be a shut-off valve near where the water supply enters your home. There should also be a shut-off valve near each sink, toilet, and other appliance that uses water, including the water heater. Your washing machine may have two valves, one for cold water and one for hot. Some shut-off valves have handles like a faucet, and others have levers. Walk around your house with an adult and find all the shut-off valves. Turn one off and on to see how it works. Requirement 3. Describe to your Webelos den leader or family how to fix or make safe the following circumstances with help from an adult. Requirement 3A. A toilet is overflowing. Have you ever seen a toilet overflow? That can be a messy situation, but you can usually unclog it with a plunger. First, tell an adult what has happened. Then, help as they do the repair. Turn the water supply off so no more water can enter the toilet. Then place the rubber bottom of the plunger over the hole in the bottom of the bowl. Push down and pull up several times until the toilet empties. The suction the plunger creates should break up the clog so it can go down the drain. It helps if the bowl is half full of water. Simple clogs will get cleared this way. If the plunger doesn't work, your family may have to get a plumber to unclog the toilet. To prevent future clogs, only put human waste and toilet paper in the toilet. Requirement 3B. The kitchen sink is clogged. If the kitchen sink is clogged, tell an adult, and you can unclog a kitchen sink with a plunger the same way you unclog a toilet. If you have a double sink, put a stopper in the second sink. Otherwise, you won't be able to create suction. Many clogs happen because people put the wrong things in their garbage disposals. Don't try to ground up potato peels, meat, uncooked pasta or rice, or stringy vegetables like celery. After using the garbage disposal, let the water run another 15 seconds to flush the food waste, and never put your hands inside the garbage disposal.
Requirement 3C. A circuit breaker tripped, causing some of the lights to go out. If some, but not all of your lights go out, you have lost power on a single circuit, as described in Requirement 2A. With an adult, go to the electrical panel and look for the breaker for that circuit. If the circuits aren't labeled, you'll have to do a little detective work and look for a breaker that has tripped. A tripped breaker is usually easy to spot because it will be switched in the opposite direction from the other breakers. To reset a tripped breaker, simply switch it back on as you would a light switch. You can now check the lights to see if they work. If the breaker trips again, your parent or guardian should call an electrician. Requirement 4B. Fix a squeaky door or cabinet hinge. When a door or cabinet hinge squeaks, you can silence it with machine oil or spray lubricant oil. Spray Spray or squirt a little oil into the hinge at several spots, being careful not to get it on the woodwork. Move the hinge back and forth a few times to distribute the oil. Wipe off any excess oil with a rag. Requirement 4C. Tighten a loose handle or knob on a cabinet or a piece of furniture. The knobs and handles on cabinets and other pieces of furniture are usually held on with screws. Over time, those screws can work loose. The fix is easy. Hold the knob or handle with one hand while you use a screwdriver and the other hand to tighten the screw.
Requirement 4. Let's fix it. Select and do 8 of the following. You will need an adult supervision for each of these fix-it projects. Requirement 4A. Show how to change a light bulb in a lamp or fixture. Determine the type of light bulb and how to properly dispose of it. When your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents were your age, most people used the incandescent light bulb in their homes. Today, people can choose from many types of light bulbs. Here are the 3 most common types. Incandescent bulbs. These bulbs produce light by heating a tiny filament until it glows. Incandescent bulbs are cheap, but most of their energy is turned into heat, not light. That's why the most inefficient versions are no longer sold in the United States. Compact fluorescent CFL bulbs. These bulbs produce light by using a mixture of argon and mercury to excite a fluorescent coating inside the glass. The same basic technology is used in the long fluorescent tubes found in classrooms, stores, and offices. CFL bulbs use 75% less energy than incandescent bulbs. Light emitting diode LED bulbs. These bulbs contain a computer chip that generates photons that illuminate the bulb. They use even less energy than CFL bulbs and can last for 20 years or more. They are also more expensive than the CFL bulbs. You can usually identify the type of bulb by how it looks, as the pictures here show. Sometimes, however, CFL and LED bulbs are made to look more like incandescent bulbs, so you might need to check for a label printed on the bulb. Changing a light bulb is a very simple task. However, you should still follow the same basic safety practices whenever you handle any electrical device or appliance. First, turn off the switch or pull the plug. Make sure the old bulb has cooled off before you touch it. Carefully unscrew the old bulb and lay it somewhere that it won't break. Replace the bulb with a new bulb that doesn't exceed the light's fixture's maximum wattage. Turn on the switch or plug the fixture back in to test the light. If the bulb is in a hard-to-reach location, ask for help before you climb a stepladder or crawl behind furniture to reach it. Discarding light bulbs. If the old bulb is incandescent, you can discard it in the trash. If it is a CFL bulb, it should be properly recycled because it contains a small amount of mercury. Check with your local recycling center for more information. The recycling center may also have a plan in place for accepting LED bulbs.
Requirement 4D. Demonstrate how to stop a toilet from running. Have you ever thought about what happens when you push down the handle to flush a toilet? It's actually quite simple. When you depress the handle, a chain lifts a stopper called the flush valve in the bottom of the toilet tank. All of the water in the tank drains into the bowl, causing the bowl to empty into the sewer pipe. The filler valve then refills the tank to get ready for the next flush. If a toilet is running constantly, the flush valve is letting water through. That usually happens because it didn't fall back into place. To stop the water from running, do the following. Remove the top of the toilet tank and place the cover out of your way on the floor. Be careful because it is breakable. Find the flush valve and position it so it covers the hole. The tank should begin filling right away. Carefully replace the cover on the top of the tank. A toilet can also run if the flush valve is worn out, if the lift chain is too short, or if part of the lift chain gets caught or tangled. An adult can help you fix these problems. Requirement 4E. Replace a furnace filter. Besides keeping your home at a comfortable temperature, your furnace and air conditioner remove dust and other impurities from the air by trapping them in a special filter. This filter should be changed every 3 months or so. Note, some furnaces have permanent filters that are designed to be washed instead of replaced. To replace the filter, do the following. Turn off the heater or air conditioner if it's running. Go to your furnace and look for an access door. It may be near the floor or between the air intake duct and the furnace itself. Open the door. Note exactly how the filter is installed, including which way the arrows point. These arrows indicate which way the air flows through the filter. Remove the filter and replace it with one of the same size and type. Be sure the arrows point in the right direction. Shut the access door and turn the heater or air conditioner back on. Dispose of the old filter. If it's very dirty, put it in a trash bag before carrying it through the house.
One, play a challenge game or initiative game with the members of your den or family. Take part in a reflection after the game. Blanket ball. Needed are indoor or outdoor area, any number of players, sheet or blanket, playground ball, or large soft object. Lay the blanket on the ground and put the ball in the center. The players stand around the blanket, grab its edges, and pick it up. They throw the ball up and catch it by moving the blanket up and down together, trying to get the ball as high as possible. 2 or more dens can play this game. You just need extra blankets and balls. For extra fun, try to toss a ball from one blanket to another and back. Forehead squeeze relay. Needed large playing area, even number of players, several tennis balls or oranges. The object is for 2 players on each team to carry a ball or orange across the room and back again by holding it between their foreheads. If they drop it, they must start again. When the first pair returns to the starting point, the next pair begins. Keep playing until all the players have had a turn. The trick with this game is to see how fast you can move without dropping the ball or orange.
Requirement 3A. Learn about the energy your family uses and how you can help your family decrease its energy use. Energy is anything that makes lights work, keeps your home at a comfortable temperature, cooks your food, and makes cars and buses go. Energy costs money, and how we use it can affect the environment. You can help your community and be a good citizen by using energy as sparingly as possible in your daily life. Talk with an adult in your family about the kinds of energy your family uses and how much money you pay for energy. Pick 2 ideas from use of energy below and try them for a month. Talk with your family about the differences you noticed by making the changes. The next time your family receives a utility bill, see if the changes affected how much energy you used. Remember, it takes energy to purify water, move it to your home, and heat it. Water. Search for dripping faucets or other ways water might be wasted. With an adult, correct those problems. Turn off the water while you brush your teeth. Ask your parent or guardian to use cold water for doing laundry. Take a shorter shower or run less water in the bathtub. If you didn't drink all of your water, use it to water a plant. Try any other water-saving idea your family agrees to. Electricity. Replace old light bulbs with LED bulbs or compact fluorescent bulbs. Be sure no lights are left on when a room is empty. Help your parent or guardian hang laundry outside to dry. Unplug electronic devices that are not in use. Read a book instead of watching the television. Try any other electricity-saving idea your family agrees to. Heating, cooking fuels, natural gas, propane, fuel oil, etc. Turn the thermostat down in the winter and up in the summer. Use energy-saving settings on your clothes dryer. Help your parent or guardian look for and repair places where outside air is leaking into your home. Keep doors and windows tightly shut. Turn down the heating element on a gas water heater. Try any other heat-saving idea your family agrees to. Transportation. Walk or ride your bicycle to run an errand or go to school. Participate in a carpool to attend school or another activity. Help your family keep lists of errands to reduce driving. Use public transportation if it is available to you. Try any other idea to use the family car less.
Requirement 3B. Do a cleanup project that benefits your community. Cleaning up after ourselves is something we all should do. However, you have probably noticed that not everyone remembers to do that. Sometimes you will see an empty lot where people have dumped trash or where weeds have grown tall. As you travel, you may see trash along the roadside. As a Bear Scout, you can help your community take care of these problems. This is another good way to show pride in your community. By giving your time, you can make a big difference. With your family or den, discuss a cleanup project you can perform as a group. Plan your project on the next page, then go do it. Our cleanup project. Our project is, we will need to contact Mr. and Mrs. to get permission to do our project. Our project date will be, our project will take so many hours to complete. We will need these supplies: gloves, trash bags, safety or other protective clothing if needed, water, first aid kit, safety glasses, sun protection. One idea is to pick up trash in your own neighborhood. Join us next time for Activity 19, Bike Safety, Bike, Car, and Skateboard Repair. If you are interested in joining a pack near you, visit